Morning, everybody. Today is hopefully the first day of planting season, but we've got some things that have to get done before we can get a planter in the ground. First thing I've got to do is hook up the planter to the seed tender, or hook up my truck to the seed tender, make sure it runs fine, go get seed. Now, the seed tender has been started in the past like 2 months, so I'm fairly confident in that. And we do have to go get seed. Gotta move the truck. A couple other things to get it out. So this is April 12th. We've got BJ coming over. He's gonna VT this field with the planter tractor while I'm getting everything moved around. Wanted to make it to that field last night and just didn't make it in time. But it's all right, he'll get that. It will take me a little bit to get seed and everything. We should be planting here around noon is my goal. But we have a good forecast tomorrow as well, so if that's the case, we'll plant tomorrow too. But let me know if you started planting. Also, I was talking to our Pioneer dealer. He was dropping off our pallet of corn, and he had mentioned that he's had several customers switching corn acres to bean acres due to fertilizer costs. Be interested to know if you have some of that going on in your area, or if you guys are doing that. We had bought 90% of our fertilizer. We can, maybe not 90. We can't hold all of our nitrogen. We can hold most of it. So we were prepaid on most of that. We will have to purchase some in season, and that will really suck. This was definitely one of those years that buying an extra 28 tank would have been very profitable, or very big money saver this year. BJ just pulled in the fence, so he can get started here real soon. That field will take about 2 hours to till probably if he winds her up. See what the old battery pack will do. Yeah. Well, that's less than ideal. Our scale head should come on in that circumstance, but it also helps if I connect the battery. Now we've got a reading. Oh, there we go. Let that run for a little bit. Yep, that's what I figured. Takes her a little while to get fired up sometimes. A little bit of wheat left in this tender. I asked Dad, what do you want to do with this wheat? You want to save it? His words were, what for? Go dump it. So here we go. It's an interesting way to plant wheat. So I had an idea in my mind where we were going to plant today. One of the things that we do now that we didn't always used to do, this is something we've started in the last like 5 years, is really placing our seeds a lot better than we used to. It used to be whatever was the first bean. I would usually try to plant the early beans on wheat ground so we could get them off earlier, but after that it really didn't matter to me. Now we're trying to place those a lot better based on what each hybrid is designed for. Certain hybrids are designed for certain things. We have hybrids in the lineup that are designed for a little bit more drought tolerance, for example. And we have some that are designed for just producing big yields. Usually when you have a drought tolerant product, you give up a little bit of top end yield. So this field in front of our shop is one of our best fields we have on the farm. Usually a high producing field. It takes a bean that I don't have over here at the shop. I have it in the bulk bin. This would be the only field that it would go in right now that would be ready. I might plant it first. That way, if we have an issue, the shop full of tools is right here. Also, I am very curious what kind of yield we could push in that circumstance. I want to walk out here and see what it looks like. I don't know if it's, this is a little heavier dirt than what we were going to plant. So, I don't know. Smells like fresh turned dirt. The finish looks good. I just don't know that this is quite here yet. Little wetter. Now, if this was mid-May, we'd send it. But this is, we're not even through the second week of April yet. It's April 12th. So we're gonna hold off on this field. Now, if it doesn't rain tomorrow and we get the other fields done, this will be the next field, so that'll give it some time to dry out. But I would like to get this field early. I'd really like to see if we can get some 80 bushel beans out of here. That'd be awesome. And long enough now. Need to put some fuel in that thing. One thing I've learned you don't want to have happen when you have a hydraulically controlled seed tender is to run out of fuel with your auger out, because then you end up unhooking your seed tender to go get fuel. Not always fun. So this tender, it does have the ability for the auger to swing out, and you can load it with the auger or the conveyor. I find it much quicker to take the forklift, pick up the Pro Box, hold it over there, climb up there, pull the door, and load it way faster. So that's how I do it. So we've got Seed Consultants SC7364E.
That's what we're starting the year off with.
Much faster, much faster. So this is a 45 unit Pro Box. The horse can hold 165 units on a fill up depending on seed size. So we'll definitely put 3 boxes in because, well, I won't be able to, 4 boxes won't be enough for another fill up anyways. Well, no, we'll put in 4 boxes. I want to be completely full, but we won't try to put any more because it wouldn't really benefit us. Well, we've got 180 units on board, so that should last us a little while. Roughly about 180 acres, which if we get that much planted today, that'll be good. I'll be very happy with that. Now, where I'm going, that will not finish the amount that I would like to do, so we will probably fill up and then put another box in. That way if we get rolling good tonight, I don't have to stop in the dark to come get more seed. I think my total requirements is like 250 or 220. I have to look at my seed book now, my recommendation book. I think I got to have like 220, 225 units to finish over there. So if you're wondering what a unit is, it's how they measure seed. If you look at that tag right there, you'll see contains 45 units at 140,000 seeds per unit. Each unit weighs, where's the seed weight? Should tell you how many seeds per unit there are, how many seeds are in each pound. It's on there somewhere, but that box is 1,800 pounds total. BJ just quit moving by a power pole. This is giving me flashbacks. But there's the seeds per pound, 33.7. So with the accelerator and the harrow combo, one thing I don't know if I ever explained was that harrow doesn't lift. You just drive around with it down, which I like, kind of washes out your tracks a little bit. But it does leave a very nice finish. Like I say, the harrow really completed the package. It's kind of it's a train and you can't really back into corners, but makes a beautiful seed bed. He's getting way more particular than I would though. For tillage, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like going around corners and poles and stuff, I just get close and go on. Now planting, I will fill it in because then we'll have a spot with weeds if we don't. Well, looky there, nice seed bed. Looks real good, looks real good. So BJ has a granddaughter, if you didn't know, and well, her birthday party's going on at the shop, so he is helping set up for that. I'm gonna finish this field and then we'll get hooked up to the drill. Well, we are done, so we're gonna drop this implement now and get hooked up to the drill. It sucks hooking and unhooking all the time, but it just is what it is. We could use another tractor, but we don't have to have one. That said, if we found a front wheel assist, like an 8530 or maybe like a 305 Magnum or a 335 Magnum, something like just cheap, dependable with low hours, decent price, it would definitely interest me. Especially if we went with a pull type spreader, we would definitely need another tractor in my opinion. So we may eventually hook that back up to something. Might go back on the deer, might go on the corn planting tractor. It might sit there. I really don't know. It's not in the way right there. It is out of the way of planting. And it could sit there for a while if we needed it to. We will try to use the Salford as much as we can because it has a little bit more versatility, but the width of 30 feet is kind of nice. The Salford's only 24. One thing I really like about the fence is the fence tractors, not fence, is that you can save a profile in there and I don't have to go look for what my hydraulic settings are. And my hydraulics are labeled, I can do that. So like I know that the red hydraulic is my lift, I got my power beyond, I got my fan. I like having that like that. So we're gonna fill up here at the fuel tank and we're gonna put some fuel in the tractor. And we're also going to adjust our depth on our planter, and then we'll go put her in the ground and see what we got. We want to be about 1.25 inches right now this time of year. A little bit deeper than normal, but because of the time of the year, that's where we want to be. So what we're adjusting here controls our gauge wheel, which is how we get our depth. This makes it stop, which holds the planter out of the ground. Going 4 notches. There's no, I don't know what the set increments are per notch, but the paint's wore off the one after that, which is where I'd plant double crops. And I think I plant normally 1 notch before that. So like I said, we're just going to put it in the ground and find out. But this is where we're going to start. All right, now we're ready to get some seed in. While we're filling, we're going to go ahead and calibrate our drill. Since we plant in seeds per pound and not seeds per acre here, we're planting in pounds, not seeds per acre with this apparatus. We have to do a lot of calibrations. Every time we switch seeds, we have to calibrate because the drill doesn't actually read individual seeds like a planter would. Basically, we're understanding how many seeds we're spinning out of that drill every time the meter turns at the bottom of the seed tanks. Well, we need to calibrate that. So basically in this process, we will measure out some seed, we will weigh it, and we will compare it to what the monitor thinks we're putting out. This is how we ensure that we're getting accurate rates with an air drill. So we've ran the system a few times to calibrate or to prime our meters. Now we tell it we're ready for the next step. We go out here, get this little baggie, throw it under here. Now we flip this switch and we're sending beans out. And then we will weigh this and subtract the weight of the bag, put that in the monitor, see what it thinks we weighed, and we'll be calibrated. Gotta do it for each meter though, so we gotta do it for back there as well. I take pictures of everything. So right there we've got 14.24. Snap a picture. Now we'll go compare that to the monitor. Our bag weighs 2.34, I believe. I'll check my picture, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So we were definitely off a little bit, but not much. We were 11.9, so I mean we were up not even a quarter pound off, really. Not bad. But we want to be as accurate as possible. So now we go on to the next meter. The same process all over again. Now, Brown Farms fashion, I'm heading to a field right beside the road. That way everyone can see our mistakes. That's just usually how it works out. This one I'm going to tuck it back into a corner though. That way if we do have some big errors, maybe people won't see it as much. There's an overpass right above it. There's also a groundhog that lives there, so he'll probably eat most of our mistakes anyways. Our variable rate map looks like we put down a total of 2,020 pounds with an average rate of 44.25 pounds per acre. Now keep in mind there's 3,370 seeds per acre in this variety, so do the math, that's our population. What is that? 130-ish, 140, I don't know. That's what it is. So you see those different shaded areas, those are different varieties, or different population zones. Planting, but I am going to get out now and we're going to take a peek. We did not go far, we've planted a whopping 1/10 of an acre. But I want to get out and check with everything in the ground. I want to see depth. Make sure we have seeds coming out of the planter. So we definitely have seed coming out. Here's the easiest way I find to check depth. That's how deep we are. Which is about where I want to be. I'm calling that good. This is why my pocket knives are never nice though. They end up becoming seed tools this time of year. So we were not very deep right there, Jesus. We are in moisture though. I think we're good. Well, it definitely sounds to me like our fan on our avatar is about to explode. I think I figured out what our fan noise was. This lid was really loose and vibrating and spinning. I hope that's it. We have had this fan explode. It sounded just like that, and it was the teeth of the fan vibrating off. But I looked up and that thing was very loose and moving around a lot, so hopefully that fixes us. Moment of truth. That didn't fix it. Looks like we're folding up. Wonderful. Great start. Indeed. Well, we're going to tear the cage off this fan and see what we see in there. See if we find anything alarming. There's a shaft coupler that could have slid. We'll see if that's it. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully this is not going to keep us from planting. But if it is, I guess I'm glad we discovered it now and not in 2 weeks. But I also want to plant now, not in 2 weeks. That's very odd that it's a 1/2 inch. That makes no sense. It's a German planter with a 1/2 inch socket, or 1/2 inch bolt. At least got 3/8 ratchets in here. Perfect. That's sarcasm. It's not in here. God knows where it's went off to. I love having this toolbox on this bed. Seems like I really struggle keeping tools in the truck though. I've came to get back up. Need some assistance. So BJ's working some corn ground. Is this supposed to be tight up to this plate? Not necessarily. I guess those bolts are run into it. There's no gap in there, so. Yeah, think I try it. Well, apparently we had a lot of dust on our fan blades and it was causing it to be out of balance, because it sounds fine now. I'll be darned. This baffles me. That is not what I thought that would. I'm shocked. Back to the field we go. I think I fixed it. And cleaning that fan was the secret. Well, we've been going back and forth for a while. I actually got a phone call from a buddy and it was relaxing. I wasn't worried about the planter, but everything's been functioning fine. We've planted 20 acres since then. So we're spitting seed out. We are not plugging up. I thought I had a bearing going out of an opener, but I must just had a rock in it because I picked it up and we haven't drug up since. So that's good. There goes Dad over the overpass watching. Got to make sure I'm doing it right. The meal wagon is at the end of the field. Mrs. Brown's delivering supper. Hi, darling. Well, it's about 10:30. I'd say we got at least another hour here. First day of planting. It's April 12th. I really don't need to plant this late, but I know if I didn't finish this field, like, it would just bug me all night. So I wanted to get this field done. I really wanted to get the field over there done, but I gave up on that idea before we started. When we had that little snafu with the planter fan, that delayed us about an hour to an hour and a half. It's just, I don't know. I want to get this field done. We're going to get it done. It's just going to bug me if I didn't. Well, that's it, folks. We got the field done. So we now have, I got 120 acres of beans planted. So glad we got that done. We're going to fold up and we'll get some sleep.